Thank you so much for joining us today, for making a date to be with us. As usual, we are continuing to be sharing insights on parenting. And today we want to look at the lessons that a daughter would love to learn from her mother. The lessons that a daughter would love to learn from her mother. And in that case, as we all know that mothers are very important. They say educate a mother, you educate a nation, or you educate a generation. So mothers play a very important role in our lives as human beings. Mothers are there to see that children are kept well. She keeps the family intact. Now, with the responsibilities that is upon the mothers, we want to look and see what is it that girls or daughters would desire to learn when she sees her mother carrying the tasks, the responsibilities, the work that she has done, the load that she is carrying in each and every family. And she looks through the eye of her mother and wants to do something and wants to learn something. There's something that I just want to say as we are going to be looking on this topic. There is this statement that was said the danger of the mother would to relive her early life through the eyes of her daughter. The danger of the mothers is to relive her early life through her daughter. So we want to look at how best can a mother relive through her life through her daughter. But we want to hear from the side of the girls. What is it that they desire? And to look at this topic and explore it, I have guests in the studio today. I've invited two girls that are going to help me explore at the topic. Hello girls, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Thank you so much for coming to this show. I want to give you this time to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, hello, my name is Trosin Dope.
My name is Pearl Chingwena.
Thank you so much for coming to be on the show today. Right. As girls who are growing, I want to understand, we are looking at the issue, what is it that a daughter would love to learn from her mother?
Okay, thank you, Pastor. As for me, I'd like to learn how to respect myself from my mother, because I won't be able to be respected out there if my mother doesn't teach me how to respect myself.
Okay. So in other words, you are saying mothers should take time to teach daughters how to respect herself, how to carry herself.
Yes.
What else would you want to learn from your mother?
Well, I agree with Trosin. I completely concur with what she has said. I would also want my mom to teach me to respect myself, because definitely no other person, especially men out there, they won't be able to respect me if I do not respect myself. They can only treat me exactly how I treat myself. I would also want her to teach me to learn how to run a family, because I've been seeing my mom as I was growing up. She is able to wake up early in the morning whilst I'm asleep, do all the duties, take care of my dad, my sisters, my brothers. Whilst I'm sleeping, and I actually don't like it when she wakes me up. So to actually think that I'm actually going to grow up to be a mother myself later on, I mean, it's something that I have to learn from her, because it's quite difficult how she did it. Taking care of my father's needs, relatives will come at home, guests, church, she's a church leader, church, all that. Whilst probably I'll be sleeping. I actually don't know. I actually think that she is a super mom. So I would actually want her to also teach me to be that responsible, to also teach me to probably be a super mom in the future.
Okay. So in other words, are you telling me that you as daughters, do you have this in you that you would want to learn? Are daughters out there, to those who are watching us, are daughters out there have this desire to want to learn from their mothers? Or it doesn't matter to them?
Yeah, a lot of daughters out there, they eagerly want to learn from their mothers. Because as for me, I cannot be the best mother if I don't see my mother being the best part of her, if I don't see my mother being a proper lady. I'll learn to be a better mother if I see my mother doing the proper thing. So daughters out there, we eagerly want to learn from our mothers. We eagerly want to be better mothers, because our mothers have been through a lot and they have made some mistakes. So she will be teaching me to recorrect some of the mistakes that she did. So I'd like to learn from my mother again.
Okay, no, that's fine. I hear what you are saying, ladies, that you'd love to learn from your mothers. And I've picked the point that you are saying you'd love to learn from your mothers how to treat yourself. You'd love to learn from your mothers how to present yourself. What more else, the other lessons that you think if mothers would want to hear, they would need to know, at least my daughter is expecting me to teach her this. What are other lessons in life that maybe you cannot get from any academic institution, that you would only get from your mother? What are the other lessons that you need to learn?
Okay, I would love my mommy to tell me that I'm beautiful, that I'm bold, that I'm confident. Because like what you're mentioning, I cannot take this from any academic institutions. Yes, they could try to give me, but there I meet a lot of people who are actually more confident than I will be. So at least if my mom would have told me that I am confident, I am bold, I am beautiful, then if I see someone else who tries to act confident in front of me and try to despise me, I will not be affected because I already know that I am confident. So I think that it is imperative for our mothers, probably not just mine or hers, but all the mothers out there, to teach their children, actually to tell them that they are strong, that they are beautiful, that they are phenomenal, that they are able, that they can do anything at any time. Because if they do not, if someone else is going to tell me that out there, I'm going to lose it. And you never know, they could just use me as their puppet because they're telling me things that I want to hear and I always want to be around them.
That's good. I'll come on that point. But for this moment, we want to thank you so much. We want to take a short break. We will be back again in our next segment. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, thank you for joining us on the second segment. Today we are looking at what lessons would a daughter love to learn from her mother. And as usual here on Parenting Insight, we look at things that some people would take a leaf from. Right, previously, girls, we were looking at, you were saying you would love your mother to tell you how beautiful, how bold, how courageous you are. Do these things matter if they are coming from your mom?
Yeah, it matters because usually girls of nowadays, we are being deceived of people telling us just words only, even if they do not express it or even if they do not show it, because we have never, or there's no one in our family or out there who is able to tell us. So some people out there, for example, it might be a boy. He can come and tell me, "Oh, you are beautiful. Wow, what an angel you are." But my mother have never told me that you are beautiful, my darling. Your height or your structure, you are beautiful the way you are. And he just come and tell me something like that. I will freak out because I won't be someone who is used to all that. Then I'll end up trusting this person to an extent that I'll have a picture that is the only one who cares about me, is the only one who tells me the truth. My family, they don't even cater for me, or my mother doesn't even see how beautiful or how important I am in her life. But there's someone out there who sees that importance in me.
Okay, that's critical. That's good. All right. Now I would need now to understand. Can you tell me a relationship that you would desire to say, I would love a relationship with my mom, a relationship like this. What type of a relationship would you have? Okay, fine. We're talking of the things that you'd want to learn, right?
Yeah.
But now let's look at a relationship. What this relationship that you aspire or desire to have with your mom? What type of a relationship?
Well, basically, I would want my mom to be my best friend.
Okay,
Well, the one that I can tell anything.
okay.
After work, after school, I will be keen to go home and tell her, Mom, guess what? My boss was hitting on me. Can you imagine? And they were like, what? Your boss is hitting on you? So if I tell my mom now that, Mom, my boss was hitting on me, and she's like, why? Do you now behave like a prostitute that your boss is hitting on you? You know, so if my mom is going to give me the latter, then the following time, the next time I face that, I am not going to tell her. And what I also think that all the mothers out there should do is, if they should be receptive, you know, to all the questions that their children ask them. If the child is going to ask, Mom, what is sex? The mom shouldn't say, don't you ever talk about that. I think we've all heard about this kind of an example where the mother says, don't you ever talk about that. Never ask that. The next time she's going to ask it to your neighbor who will be receptive, and he will be a man. And then he'll be generous enough to say, come and I'll show you what sex is. So, you know, it's important, it's imperative for mothers, you know, to engage in such conversations with their daughters. Because if the mother is the best friend, then why would I want another man to be my best friend? That's what I say.
I like the way how you are bringing it up, because then we would be able to bridge our generation.
Okay.
Because some of these, they remain gaps in our lives. You would find there's a gap here, there's a gap there. And with what you are saying, I think it would help us. Now, this comes to this point that I want you to put across. If mothers are going to be this open, do you think mothers, they have a role to play to relink you with your father?
Thank you so much. They will have such a role, because if I see my mother being open to me, I would get to an extent of asking even how properly I can treat my own husband when I get married, how properly I can respect my husband, or I can listen to my husband while he's talking. She can even give an example like, my daughter, have you seen like the way I greet your father? That's how a proper lady should do that. And also there are some other things that my mother won't be able to tell me, that she would refer me to my father. Then I'll have that kind of relationship with my father also, telling me also the other part of the world that my mother cannot tell me. So my mother she can even get to an extent of engaging me with my father.
Okay, you have said something that I think that is also key. I want us to talk about the issue of engagement. Are the mothers engaging? Do they engage? And what does it help if a mother is to engage you? What does it then help at the end of the day?
Well, if my mother is to do that, I believe it will just make me a better person,
Okay.
Someone who is able to relate with the father in a better way, and any other men out there. Because the way my mother treats my father is how I am most likely to treat my husband. And that makes me bring out this point that sometimes it's not necessarily what she tells me, but sometimes it's what I see her doing, how I see her treating my father. Even if she's always yelling at my dad, when my dad asks how many tomatoes should I cook today, she's like, a man like you doesn't know how many tomatoes to cook, an old man like you. Stuff like that. If I'm going to see her talk to my dad like that, even if she's going to tell me to respect my husband, these things that slowly come into me subconsciously are the things that are most likely to happen to me. Remember, they say that action speaks louder than words. Well, I believe that a lot of people are studying computers. There's a say in computer technology that goes by garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
So if you feed your child with garbage, she is going to output garbage. If you feed her with bitterness, she is going to produce bitterness. If you are going to feed her with wrong treatments, she is most likely to treat her own kids the same way. So I think a mother has got a very, very big role to play in helping me engage with my dad, with my brother, and with, the world at large.
I think that's very important, that there is a need for mothers to engage with their daughters, because the more that she engages, one, her perspective is at a matured level than you. And she then prepares you to become this woman that she is. And I truly appreciate what you are saying. But help me now. I'm now trying to think, right, mothers out there. Say they have a question and say, okay, fine, we are hearing what you're saying. How best can a mother be exposed? How best can a mother be exposed to these things that we are talking, that you wish to have such a platform with your mother? Or does she need to go to school, or what? Where can she get something like that? I want you to hold on to that. We'll come back as we are getting on to our break. Thank you so much for keeping on watching. We are continuing with our discussion in this show, or in the house. On the show today, I have two girls. We're talking about what is it that daughters would love to learn from their mothers. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you. Welcome to our third and final segment on Parenting Insights, where we are looking at an issue, what are the lessons that the daughters would love to learn from their mothers. And the girls that I have, we have been looking at different issues. We went to for a break when we were talking about which forums do you think mothers would want to be exposed for them to learn some of these things. Remember, some of these things were not there when they grew up, and now you have been exposed. What do you think?
Okay, thank you, Pastor. What I can do for my mother to learn all this, like children of nowadays, we are more into what we call social media rather than the people of back then, or rather than the age of our parents. So what I can do, at times I can even get to connect here with some organizations that deals with women. Then I can make sure that she's exposed to all that, and I'm supposed to make sure that I have this good relationship with my mother, because at times I can even have some information about mothers that I can tell her, and to tell her properly is it can happen. That can happen if I have a good relationship with her, if I have that a friendship zone with my mother, if I have that comfort zone with my mother, then I'll be able to tell her all that. Then I'll also be able to connect with her with other ladies out there, so that she will be able to get to know how is it to be a mother, how is it she can train me to be the better mother of the coming generation.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Bill, do you have something to add?
Well, she has said it all, but I just want to add and to concur with what you just said, that if I have a good relationship with my mom, then I'm most likely to tell her anything, unless, as compared to when our relationship is grumpy, when she's always yelling at me. Well, you know, when someone yells at you, it doesn't matter how old you are, you don't want to see them for a time. That's just being human. You might be angry, you might forgive them, but you'll be angry with them for a time. So if I'm all busy being angry with her, I might not be able now to think about, okay, fine, which forum should I connect my mom with? So I think that a relationship is very imperative for me to have a good relationship with her, so that when I have this relationship with her, then I would want her to go all out and learn about all these things, because I believe that our parents should be evergreen learners, be ready to learn new things. You know, they should be ready to learn new things, so that they will also be able to be receptive to the questions we ask them, you know, so that they can become the 21st century moms. So if the relationship is good, then I expose her all out, then we'll be good.
Okay, right, fine. I want you to then, let's look at the issue. What then causes today's mothers fail to hand over these lessons? What would be the challenges that you think in your own side as daughters? What do you think hinders today's mothers to teach you or to hand over these lessons?
Okay, thank you, Pastor. As of me, firstly, I would like to say I won't blame a mother if she won't be able to do such a thing, if she won't be able to train her daughter to become a mother in the coming generation. Because if we look at some mothers, the most important part is because of their background. There's some other mothers who become mothers at a very tender age. They were not even that mature that they will be able to even take care of a big family or of a family or of a child. Only it might be one child. They were not able to do so. So I want to blame here. That is the other reason that is causing some other parents not to be able to train their children, because the background takes the most important role in her life, so that she could teach me, because she might be someone who didn't have that good relationship with her mother. She didn't have that love from her mother, so she won't be able to teach me how to love myself, how to respect myself, if her mother didn't teach her such a thing. Because like what we have just said, is that garbage in, garbage out. Some of the mothers out there were taught not to respect their husband, were taught that men are very bad, they are very fool, or they are very foolish or whatsoever. So they end up not being able to teach their daughters how to become the best mothers of the coming generation.
Okay. And now I'm now with so many questions now. So in other words, you girls are telling me that this thing can be passed on from generation to generation.
Yes.
So it could be something that is coming from the other generations, because our mothers today were not exposed to this, and it's difficult for them to also pass it on.
Yes, I think so. It brings us back to the issue of learning. Our parents, our mothers should be flexible. It doesn't matter if it's generational. That just doesn't matter. We thank God for technology. They can always learn new things. That's why we had mentioned earlier on that they should be evergreen learners. They should be keen to learn new things and break that generation that has been telling them to be bitter and stuff like that. So I think it brings us back to the issue of learning. They should just be flexible. Yeah, if she was a bitter woman because her mom was always bitter with the dad, and she's also being bitter with the husband, and teaching me, her daughter, to be bitter with my brothers and probably the guy who is going to marry me, it's fine if she grew up like that. But now she just has to say enough is enough. I just need to start instilling good values in my daughter for the better.
In other words, you are saying mothers should come at a point where she says, I need to correct the wrong use of the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Where she should say, at this stage, I have discovered, okay, gone are the days when I didn't know that carrying myself like this will not take me anywhere. But I should desire to let my daughter carry herself in a way that at the end of the day, she's gonna be this mother who is going to be good for the next generation.
That's right.
Oh no, that's good. I've learned quite a lot of things, and now I think we would need a program where we're going to be looking at, in case of a daughter who is grown with a single man, what is it that she goes through? I think we need to look at that, because some mothers, they have grown through without husbands, and daughters have seen their mothers working very hard to make sure that they go to school, they have what to eat, they have what to dress, they have what is needed in the social life and in their livelihood, whatever is expected. And that has been done by their mothers to an extent that girls, they don't see the importance of a man. They don't see the importance of a father, because whatever she wanted, she has been to the university, she has done a degree, she has done a master's. It was through the mother. So at the end of the day, maybe she does not see the importance of a father. But it is not like that. As much as life can be like that, but every human being needs the double parents. So I want to thank you very much, girls, for your input. Can you just say in a short space of time, what would you want to say as your last words? I'll start with you, Pearl.
All right. What I want to say is to all the mothers out there, please Make sure that you are close to your daughters. Tell them that they are beautiful, that they are phenomenal, so that they won't freak out when some guy comes and tell them. And you should also teach them to work with their own hands, make their own money, because if they have their own money, then they won't see the necessity to actually be given money by any other guy who actually doesn't want to give them the money in good faith, but just to use them. And most importantly, please be best friends with your daughters to prevent the worst from happening. Thank you.
Okay, Trosi, what would you say?
Okay, thank you, Pastor. I'd like to say to mothers out there, adding to all what she has just said, have a proper relationship with your daughters. And also, as daughters, we are supposed to be daughters who listen to our mothers. There are some other things we know that they will be saying things which are bad, but when she tells us the path to follow, let us try by all means to follow that path. It is going to be a good thing for me and my coming family, or for the coming generation. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Thank you. There you are. For this time, we want to thank you so much, girls, for the sharing. I want to encourage you to continue following us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, and all the platforms, Parenting Inside Zimbabwe.